A station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us this Monday for DC News Now at 4. I'm Ben Dennis, in for Annalisa Gale today. Mark Hall will join us later in our newscast, but right now, DC residents and leaders want answers and solutions to the continued rise of violent crime. We kick off with team coverage across the district this afternoon. Our Leonard and Fleming standing by with the latest efforts from the mayor's office to make streets safer. But first, Randy Bass is live near the Fort Totten Metro Station. That's where a woman had her elderly dog stolen, and she was assaulted as well. Randy, good afternoon.
Yeah, Ben, just a disturbing story here. Zelina Ahmed tells me it was just like any other walk with her dog here through their Fort Totten neighborhood. The street lights were on Saturday night. Plenty of people were out and about walking around, her cell phone in hand and her dog Max on a leash. Everything was normal until it wasn't, until a man came up to her. She thought he needed help. He pulls up his waistband and shows her he has a gun. Ahmed clutched Max, her dog, in her arms as that man dressed in a hoodie and a COVID mask attacked her, smacking her in the face with a gun. Moments later, another man dressed the same pulled up in a black van or SUV as she fought back. The two men took off with the 14-year-old Westie, who needs special care. She hopes Max can find his way back to her. She's overwhelmed by the support from friends and strangers willing to help. Here's what she had to say to the people who attacked her and took Max.
Something in their heart will find some compassion and have them return him. It's me, because I don't think that they're bad people, maybe just in a bad situation, and I don't want anything bad to happen to them. I just really want my dog back.
Yeah, and in terms of helping to get Zelina Ahmed her dog back, she went around to various apartment buildings here in the neighborhood trying to see if any of them had footage. One of them said they did have footage that may have been of interest to police involving the attack. They sent that footage off to police. Police not sharing any photos or videos with us right now. They are asking anybody, though, if you have any information at all, to get in touch with them. Ben?
If they're not sharing any photos or videos, tell us about any possible identifying details. We know what the dog looks like, but what about the car that could be involved here?
Yeah, so as for that car, Ben, she says it was either a large black SUV or a large black minivan. One thing she did notice about the car was missing the driver's side door handle, a big identifier here that could be key in helping police identify the car that could have been involved in this attack. As for the dog, too, Max, he's a senior dog. He's pretty slow moving. She also tells me he recently had surgery to remove a growth from under his eye. He's got a red patch under one of his eyes. Again, anybody with any information at all, urged to get in touch with authorities. Live in Fort Totten, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
Hopeful for that reunion soon. Randy, thank you. But developing right now, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser is proposing new crime legislation to curb that rise in violent crime in the nation's capital. It's called the Crime Trends Now Act, and her administration says that it would allow police to crack down on open-air drug markets, mass retail theft, and scale back on police accountability reforms. Our political reporter Leonard and Fleming was at the mayor's press conference today asking some tough questions. Leonard, there's still a few hurdles for this proposal to go forward.
Ben, the mayor needs 7 votes on city council for her bill to pass, and the administration is likely to get pushback on a number of her proposals. Mayor Muriel Bowser proposed reestablishing drug-free zones at the acting police chief's discretion to disrupt loitering around drug dealing. Also, making it a crime to wear a mask to commit crimes and intimidate others, plus targeting organized retail theft rings with criminal penalties. The bill also seeks to address officer morale and efficiency by allowing the use of neck restraints of suspects, police chases for violent crimes like carjackings, and keep unfounded complaints against officers private from the public. Here is the mayor at our news conference earlier today.
The Addressing Crime Trends Now Act will create an environment that better supports communities and victims, as well as MPD's ability to hire and retain qualified officers. And some of the changes are just plain common sense.
There is no timetable on when the mayor will get a hearing on her proposals, but 3 council members who attended her briefing say they want to move fast given the public outcry about their concerns about violent crime. Ben?
Leonard, before we let you go, is the pushback on the mayor's proposals expected?
Absolutely. Several people, from former law enforcement to those worried about civil liberties, have told me that these proposals are not the answer and that they tend to protect police without improving public safety. The mayor tells me that times have changed, and she voted in 2014 to repeal the drug-free zones because she doesn't want the drug dealing trend to grow. Reporting from the studio, Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now. Back to you.
Everybody wants a solution, Leonard. Thank you. Meantime, switching gears, sunny, cool, and a picture-perfect fall day. Even the weekend, it was a little bit blistery out there. Those changing leaves starting to roll across the pavement. Meteorologist Damon Matson has a first look at your forecast. Damon, I hear you have that good news to keep on rolling throughout the week.
Yeah, Ben, we're trying to get that good news continuing to roll here on this Monday. We want to start our week out on the right foot, and thus far, weather-wise, we certainly are. That sunshine making all the difference after a very chilly morning. Look at where we've warmed up to 60s across the board here. We have 65 in D.C., 66 down toward Culpeper, and even out toward the Allegheny front of Western Maryland and West Virginia, where it was well into the lower 30s. It's the lower 60s now. So we've turned this into a fantastic afternoon and a good one to get out and maybe check out some of that fall foliage that is really popping across the region. Shout out to our producer in the back, Owen, sent this picture in, checking out some of the color that was out there this weekend in Leesburg, Virginia. That is gorgeous, no question about it. And folks, you can continue to enjoy that beautiful weather, the beautiful views across the DMV for a little while this afternoon. But check out, with a clear sky, calm wind tonight, those temperatures will tumble. And by the time we reach early tomorrow morning, it's going to be cold enough for likely some frost, maybe even a hard freeze in some parts of the DMV. We have frost advisories here in the light blue covering the entire DMV, and a few freeze warnings also in place down across southern Fauquier into Culpeper and Orange counties there in central Virginia. So it's going to be a cold one tonight. Who is most likely to see some of that frost by early tomorrow morning? And are we talking about a warm up from there through the rest of the week? We'll have a look at your full forecast coming up in just a bit.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Damon. New tonight, Tasha Butts, head coach of the Georgetown University women's basketball team, has died after a 2-year battle with breast cancer. She was 41 years old. Butts was diagnosed with advanced stage breast cancer in 2021. She had just taken the job at Georgetown in April and announced that she would step away from coaching last month. Butts took the job after a 2-year stint as an assistant coach at Georgia Tech. Her initial diagnosis inspired the Tasha Tough campaign, raising money and awareness for women who can't afford their breast cancer treatments. Our Dave Laval visited campus just this afternoon. He's going to have reaction coming up at 4:30. Stay with us. And happening right now, the search for the man that was suspected of killing a Maryland judge is ongoing at this hour. 52-year-old Andrew Wilkinson was found shot at his home in Hagerstown late Thursday night. He later died at the hospital. The man believed to have shot him, 49-year-old Pedro Argote. You see him right here. According to police, Wilkinson oversaw Argote's divorce hearing earlier that day and awarded custody of his children to Argote's wife. But the suspect was not present in court. On Saturday, law enforcement spotted the SUV connected to the suspect in a wooded area in Williamsport, Maryland. The search there has been called off, we're told, but marshals are still offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. And turning now to an alert for food fans. Today is the final day of Arlington's Restaurant Week. There are more than 50 restaurants participating this year. Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Max Marcilla brings us into the dining room.
I got a chicken and a scallop and shrimp.
Standing between the kitchen and the customers, Maison Cheryl's chef and owner Bobby Mayer is in the middle of a busy night.
Nelson, you have truffle fries coming?
It's restaurant week at his Clarendon restaurant, and there's no shortage of food and drink requests.
You have baked brie coming?
It's very well organized chaos, as any restaurant worker can understand, and it's a moment they won't take for granted again.
The restaurant was kind of forged by fire, and I think it's a lot better for that, even though COVID was terrible.
This French restaurant opened 2.5 years ago during the pandemic, and since has faced plenty of challenges.
We work on the smallest margins. We had to deal with stuff like, price of eggs being like, $100 a case.
Mayor says they've made it through and things are better, but a night like this, a week of nights like this, can help his restaurant and others stay afloat.
I've already heard tonight from Maison Cheryl that they're sold out for the weekend and up 25%. It's really as important as ever to support the local restaurants.
An important week. For diners, it's about quality time together, sharing, sometimes really sharing a meal together. But for Mayor and other restaurant owners, it's about building a customer base so they can support them through whatever challenges the industry will face next.
It's not about like the money at the moment, it's how many customers you capture. So what's tremendous about this is we may see 50 people come back, and they would have never came in the first place if it wasn't for Restaurant Week.
In Arlington, Max Marcella, DC News Now.
From the table to the TV, thank you, Max.